To people and allies who feel uncomfortable, I first say just sit in it, listen, use that listening to acknowledge what you're hearing, acknowledging the part that you play in, the treatment and mistreatment of Black and Indigenous people. So listening, reflecting, and then growing from it. Reverence is my film, and it's an experimental documentary that digs into Toronto's history and then challenges what findings are held in reverence. So I really wanted this film to not only be educational, but to kind of show the viewer that not a lot has changed in the minds of the community and society at large when it comes to the treatment of BIPOC people. So I want this film to kind of make a comment on what we hold reverential and what we deem important to remember or to teach.
At that time, they were framing a large question of how do we protect Black people, with it being the year after the Fugitive Slave Act comes out? How do we continue to protect Black people? Because people fled to Canada for that reason. And also, how do we progress as a community? Now we're also having a discussion that's not too dissimilar around police and abolishing the police, because frankly, people are tired of feeling unsafe in their societies.
When going through the walkthrough and talking with the historians and archivists, I learned that in 1851, it was the site of the largest anti-slavery convention in Canada. So I was taken aback because I'd never learned that in school, that this is such a huge event in our city.
We have to be controlling the narrative a bit more, and we have to be talking about how we keep a balance, because to make people think that we've only ever laid down and we've only been victims, is a crime.
What I loved about this experience of Awakenings was that I was able to first learn and just be empowered by the knowledge. I think a lot of our history as it pertains to Black and Indigenous populations are erased on purpose as to show this beautiful face of Canada, which is a farce on a lot of levels. Because when I first had my walkthrough of the site, I got teary-eyed. I actually had to turn away, because after learning what happened in the space of just the Black excellence that happened there, I was taken aback that I could be in this room, where they stood, to make something beautiful and to teach people what I have just learned. I think being an Afro-Indigenous person, my experience is different because I'm constantly questioning myself, constantly wanting to show the best version so that I represent the Black and Indigenous population, but mostly Black because that's how I present, as the best I could be, And when I move through life, I'm thinking about how I'm representing the people who look like me and wanting to make sure that I just succeed, because I just don't want to perpetuate any stereotypes. And I think being a filmmaker, while that experience is different as well, I feel like we fight extra hard and maybe don't get opportunities as easy as our white counterparts, for example, but it really inspires me to just keep telling the stories that need to be told. And I think that comes from a place of just being that, other in history.
Even our mundaneness is a fright to them. How we are feared for our disability and Blackness.
I think working with X, I didn't know much about him personally. I just knew he was a straight shooter, and so being able to be mentored by him in this project, I love that. I'm just tell it to me straight. This is my film. This is what I want to do, and the feedback we got was so valuable.
Save the cat, literally save the cat.
He suggested a book that I now love and tell everybody about, Save the Cat. And
the book you just need to read as a filmmaker, it's a Bible. It's a Bible for this game. It is how I do everything. All right.
And it was just so awesome to be able to have someone and people look forward and really mentor you and teach you about this industry and support your work, and just to give you that free rein from such a knowledgeable and experienced position.